Now at 8 o'clock on WKYT this morning, homes destroyed, people missing, major earthquakes hit Ecuador and Japan. How those countries are coping with disaster ahead.
And as presidential candidates fight for votes, they're also working to influence who serves as convention delegates. I'm Brooke Silva-Braga in New York. New results from the delegate fight coming up.
And Rupp Arena is beefing up security to help keep people safe. We'll take a look at the plans the arena has for its new walk-through metal detectors. That's ahead on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. I'm Sean Moody.
And I'm Meredith Jones. It's 8 o'clock on the dot. And you know what? If you haven't been outside yet, you should, because the weather, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it sounds like more of the same we've been having. Mike Linden is standing by, and Sunday's shaping up nicely already, huh?
That's right, Sean. Just look at all these weather cams. I mean, from Fayette County to Laurel County to Elizabethtown. Look at Jackson and Breathitt County. That is one of the most breathtaking views here in the Bluegrass. The sun is shining and the skies are blue over Big Blue Nation. You really got to love it this morning. We look at the Defender Radar Network, and this is only verifying the fact that we're just not seeing anything. Whether it be cloud cover, precipitation, there's just nothing going on here in Kentucky. Temperature-wise, things are a little cooler than where we were yesterday, but it actually is quite pleasant as we get our morning started, because into our afternoon today, those temperatures are just going to take off. There really is no stopping them once they start warming up today, working our way back into the mid to high 70s. But there are some bumps in the road ahead of us here. Coming up, I'll show you what we might find in the week ahead.
Mike, thank you. In Ecuador this morning, the vice president says at least 77 people are dead after a powerful 7.8 magnitude earthquake. More than 500 people are injured. That quake hit the coast last night and spread panic across the country. Its epicenter was about 16 miles away from a popular tourist area. Homes and buildings there have collapsed and an overpass buckled. The government's Natural Disaster Agency has not issued a tsunami alert. And in Japan, more than 1,500 people have been injured and dozens more are still missing this morning after two earthquakes struck the island nation there. Hundreds of thousands of people are still without electricity and water. Japan has deployed 20,000 troops to help rescue people who they think may be trapped under all the rubble and mud after a massive landslide. More rain in the forecast has many people worried about another landslide.
The Pentagon says the U.S. has released 9 prisoners from Guantanamo Bay. All 9 are Yemeni and will go to Saudi Arabia for resettlement. Now, none of the men are charged with crimes, and all but one were cleared for release at least 6 years ago. The prisoners cannot go back to their homeland because of instability there. All 9 have family ties to Saudi Arabia. And we're just days away from the New York State primary, and the presidential candidates aren't holding back.
Senator Ted Cruz is slowly cutting into Donald Trump's delegate lead. Brooke Silva-Braga has the latest.
Wyoming Republican leaders gathered Saturday to pick 14 delegates to send to the national GOP convention.
I ask you to please support the men and women on this slate.
Ted Cruz appeared in person and won all 14 spots. Donald Trump denounced the process. At a rally in upstate New York ahead of Tuesday's primary, he called on Republican leaders to reform the nominating system.
You're going to have a rough July at that convention. You better get going, and you better straighten out the system, because the people want their vote.
Democratic candidate Bernie Sanders flew back from the Vatican, where he met briefly with Pope Francis, to attend a faith and social justice roundtable here in Brooklyn.
What I feel good about our campaign is we're just busting through and forcing a discussion that the establishment would just as soon push underneath the rug.
Hillary Clinton criticized Sanders for opposing gun control while campaigning in Los Angeles.
He voted against the Brady bill 5 times.
Clinton will campaign back in New York on Sunday. In New York, Brooke Silva-Braga for CBS News.
The latest scorecard for the GOP candidates on CBSNews.com shows Trump still leading Cruz by about 200 delegates. And on the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton leads the scorecard. She has about 700 more delegates than Senator Bernie Sanders.
Kentucky's GOP is still selecting uncommitted delegates to send to the Republican National Convention. Kentucky's 2nd and 3rd congressional districts selected 3 delegates each yesterday. One of them is Lieutenant Governor Janine Hampton. Trump won 17 of Kentucky's delegates last month. Cruz won 15. If none of the presidential candidates get enough delegates to win the nomination, Kentucky's delegates are free to support anyone on the ballot.
We're following a story out of eastern Kentucky this morning. In Floyd County, firefighters are trying to figure out what started a fire at an apartment complex. That fire started around 9 o'clock on Route 777 in Maytown. Crews from Garrett, Martin, and Maytown fire departments were on scene to get that fire out. Firefighters weren't sure if anyone was injured.
Funeral arrangements are now set for a Mercer County High School junior. Investigators found 17-year-old Tristan Cole dead in a field Wednesday night. They've charged a juvenile with murder and robbery. Tristan's family says visitation for the family is tomorrow afternoon from 4 to 5 at Alexander Royalty Funeral Home in Harrodsburg. Friends can stop by from 5 to 8 that night. Now, the funeral will be held Tuesday afternoon at 1 o'clock. There will be a short visitation before the funeral.
2 people are recovering this morning after a crash here in Lexington. Police tell us a van and a car crashed last night on South Broadway and Boulevard Street. 1 person in the car had to be cut out. We're told 2 people were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police have not said what caused that crash.
An Indiana man is dead after a motorcycle crash in northern Kentucky. Police in Boone County say 2 motorcycles crashed on East Bend Road near Rabbit Hash last night. A motorcycle benefit ride for the Rabbit Hash General Store was happening at the time. The ride was to help raise money after a fire destroyed the store 2 months ago. Police say the victim was part of that benefit ride. Police believe speed and alcohol played a role in that crash.
Rupp Arena is ramping up security. Lexington Center leaders are rolling out new stand-up metal detectors there at the arena.
Yes, they used them at last night's Outcry concert, and so far, so good. WKYT's Mike Byer is at the live desk with Rupp's future security plans. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Meredith. Lexington Center officials say they'll really put the new walkthrough metal detectors to the test when Pearl Jam comes to Rupp Arena later this month. Rupp first used the metal detectors as part of a trial run during the NCAA women's basketball tournament. Only a few were used then. Last night during the concert Outcry, roughly a dozen were in play. Many concert promoters require the detectors as part of their contracts to bring musicians to Rupp, and it'll be a part of the new routine for most events at Rupp moving forward. Now, you'll still make it to your seats in time. Lexington Center leaders say the metal detectors are quicker to walk through than being wanded by security personnel.
If you arrive early so we can process you on a timely basis, it runs much faster and much more efficient than the handheld system.
Now, about 6,000 people went through those detectors at last night's concert. Those numbers are expected to triple to about 18,000 people when Pearl Jam comes to town next week. Officials tell us they plan on using all 30 metal detectors for that concert. Pearl Jam's concert will be closest to what a UK men's basketball game looks like. Lexington Center officials say they're striving to provide a safe environment for all events, even though what goes on outside those walls is constantly changing. Now, officials say the lines getting into Rupp may be longer at first while they work out the kinks with the walkthrough metal detectors, but they say in the long run, getting into the 20,000-seat arena will be faster than ever. At the live desk, I'm Mike Byer. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Mike. All right, runners and walkers, lace up your sneakers and get ready to run a student into college. Today, the UK Alumni Association will hold the first Sprint for Scholarships 5K Run Walk. Now, it helps deserving UK students. Registration begins at 1 this afternoon at Coldstream Park. Now, the race begins at 3 o'clock. All of the money raised will help fund scholarships. So if you register today, it'll cost you $30.
And coming up later today on your official UK station, the Blue-White Special. We're all still pretty excited for football season to start after yesterday's spring game. WKYT's Dick Gabriel will break down the offense and defense with 2 former Kentucky football players. You can catch that special tonight at 7 o'clock on the CW Lexington. Springtime, football weather, the same thing, but still exciting nonetheless.
We can still mix those. Spring training, you got it.
It is 8:09 on your Sunday morning, and we are just getting started here.
That's right. The deadline to file your taxes is tomorrow. And if you haven't filed yet, we've got some financial tips for you still ahead on WKYT this morning.
And the Cape Crusader, the Dark Knight, the Bat. Today's a pretty special holiday we're sure Bruce Wayne would approve of. What that is, coming up right after Mike's forecast.
A beautiful start early on to our day, but can we expect the sunny skies to stick around? I'll show you coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Mike Linden.
Good morning and welcome back to WKYT this morning as we get started here on Sunday with beautiful conditions once again, starting out early on in the mid-40s, 47 degrees and sunny skies. Of course, 47, that's a little cooler than where we were at this time yesterday morning. Of course, with the lack of cloud cover, there's just nothing to hold in all of that warmth that we felt yesterday afternoon. So think about it like sleeping without a blanket. There's nothing to keep you insulated at the surface, but once we get into the middle of our day today, we are certainly going to warm up. The sky's the limit for temperatures because, as you can see on Defender, there's just nothing going on this morning. No cloud cover, no precipitation. That's all to our west as that stationary front, which is moving slightly eastward. It is still off to our west, and it is keeping the cloud cover as well as the precipitation at bay. Now, on this map here, you can really see not only the winds, but also the warm air and the cool air right now over the United States. Of course, here we are in the warm sector, and there's the cool sector to the west. And what do you know? What's splitting it right there? How about that stationary front? That just goes to show you that this very large front stretching from North Dakota all the way southward pretty much into Mexico is essentially acting like the blockade for the cool air over the western portion of the United States. And as long as we continue to stay well within this pattern, which is the case, we will stay on the warm side of things. Not only that, but high pressure also built up over the eastern seaboard, and that's going to also keep us relatively dry. So we're just getting the best of both worlds right now, with temperatures expected to remain about 5 to near 15 degrees above normal, with hardly any cloud cover. We'll just stay locked into this pattern here for the next several days, and you can truly see that here on the hour-by-hour breakdown. Not only will we see just a lack of cloud cover this afternoon, but with that, the temperatures, there's nothing holding them back. Getting back into the upper 70s today, potentially even the low 80s. So if you're thinking about getting anything done here early in the morning, well, you might as well get it done here soon because you do not want to be busy running errands or something later this afternoon. You really want to enjoy this beautiful weather. Whether it's taking the dog out to the dog park, I know my dogs love days like these, or even just going out to Keeneland, spend some time with friends and family. Things are shaping up to be wonderful today. Back into the mid to high 70s. Of course, the low 80s certainly possible with that lack of cloud cover. We really could see those temperatures just creep into that low 80 mark. Tomorrow looks like more of the same as well. As I mentioned, we are locked into this pattern. There's really not much changing. Once we get into Tuesday, though, that's when that front gets a little closer to Kentucky, and we will see the cloud cover beginning to peek its little head back into the forecast. Some thin clouds there on Tuesday, but as we get into Wednesday, that's when the precipitation potentially gets here. Wednesday evening and into Thursday, Friday, could be tracking not only some rain showers, but potential thunderstorms too. Of course, it's the springtime, so you would expect to find some thunderstorms, but we'll just continue to stay spoiled by this beautiful pattern that we are under. Truly getting the best of both worlds here with that front and the high pressure over us. Sunny, dry. I mean, it's pretty much like Los Angeles right now in Kentucky.
I'll take it. Done deal.
Absolutely. Thanks,
All right,
Mike.
thanks. Well, you know how there's a holiday for everything. I mean, it's not so bad because it does keep the calendar fun.
Yeah, not so long ago we had Hug a Newscaster Day.
Right.
Today is National Batman Appreciation Day. Wait, National Bat Appreciation Day. But either way, I think the Dark Knight approves. They may not always be the most cuddly of creatures, but they do a lot of good, like getting rid of bugs. They can actually eat their weight in bugs in one night. And, of course, we thank them for that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I do find them really rather cute.
Yeah, they can be pretty cuddly. You see them there like the baby ones. You know, on Facebook all the time you see the videos pop up of somebody like wrapped up in a blanket and giving them a sponge with water. I mean, you know, you can't not think that's cute.
That's true. All right, well, it's 8:16 on your Sunday morning. We are just getting started.
Coming up, the deadline to file your taxes is quickly approaching. It's tomorrow. We've got some financial tips for you still ahead here on WKYT this morning.
And Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $89 million, and a Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot is $227 million. Cool. All right, welcome back to WKYT this morning. Tomorrow is the tax deadline. Not to worry, you still have time to get everything finished.
Yeah, we've got some financial advice to pass along this morning for any of you who may still need a little bit of help. Here's Jill Schlesinger.
Every year, about a quarter of Americans wait until the bitter end to do their taxes. If you're getting a late start, clear your weekend schedule because the IRS estimates that it takes 16 hours to complete Form 1040, only 4 hours for EZ filers. There are some overlooked resources that can help you out. Taxpayers who make $62,000 or less can use the IRS free file software to prepare and file their returns. Additionally, the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, or VITA program, offers free tax help to people who generally make $54,000 or less, those with disabilities, the elderly, and limited English-speaking taxpayers who are in need of assistance. In addition to VITA, the Tax Counseling for the Elderly, or TCE program, offers free tax help for all taxpayers, particularly those who are 60 years of age and older. They specialize in questions about pensions and retirement-related issues unique to seniors. If you can't meet the tax deadline, don't fret. You can file for a 6-month extension with Form 4868 by April 18th. But extensions do have a major caveat. The IRS gives you extra time to file, but not to pay. You must estimate your tax liability and send Uncle Sam at least 90% of it to avoid a penalty, which can add a total of almost 50% of what you owe to your tax bill. If you don't have the money on hand to pay the taxes, don't hide. You can apply for a free 120-day extension to pay the bill, use an IRS installment plan, make an offer in compromise, or use a credit card. Just remember, credit cards can be an expensive way to go because of the fees. In New York, I'm Jill Schlesinger.
All right, well, that's good information because those credit cards, that interest will add up.
Yeah, for sure. 8:21 now on your Sunday morning. We'll be right back.
Getting started this morning with yet again another beautiful day on the horizon. Sunny skies across the Bluegrass State, but maybe none prettier than this weather camera right there in Breathitt County. How about this view in Jackson? Gorgeous. I mean, that, you really can't beat that. And this is what it looks like pretty much all across the Bluegrass State. There's just no cloud cover out there to put a damper on your day. Of course, with no cloud cover, that means no precipitation, and that means everybody is in a good mood. Now, as we look at our pollen forecast, though, with sunny and dry conditions, that does mean the pollen is going to be running pretty much as high as it can go, not only today, but tomorrow and Tuesday as well. Oak, maple, and birch, the 3 big players out there today. Into your afternoon, if you are heading outside, get ready for a beautiful day as temperatures get pretty darn close to the lower 80s. Most of us settling right into the mid to high 70s. Lee K. Howard is back in next with sports.
After several weeks of work this spring, the Kentucky football team finally had a chance to show off what they've been working on yesterday in the annual Blue-White spring game. Mark Stoops hoping to iron out some of the early depth chart issues before the summer workouts and fall camp. Drew Barker has secured the QB1 spot, his first touchdown coming in the second quarter. A 64-yard strike to Ryan Timmons, who, by the way, the coaches have had great things to say about this spring. It was 10-0 blue team. The white squad was led by backup quarterback Steven Johnson, the transfer showing off his scrambling ability. He's going to pick up 29 yards before being stopped at the 9-yard line. 2 plays later, Johnson hands it off to Saheem King. King scampers in for the touchdown. King finished with 95 yards rushing. Just before the half, the white team would take the lead. D'Italian Tobler, the redshirt freshman out of Jacksonville, Florida, punches it in. It was 13-10 white squad, but Barker and the blue team would retake the lead just before intermission. Barker delivers over the middle to his tight end, C.J. Conrad. Barker played just one half. He was 12 of 18 for 156 yards and a pair of touchdowns. The blue team wins 31-20. You see the 2 quarterback stat comparisons there. Big day on the ground, though, for both JoJo Kemp and Saheem King. Badette, he had over 107 yards receiving, and linebacker Denzel Ware, the defensive player of the game, 15 tackles, 10 of those solo, and 4 sacks.
Good wrap to a very good spring. As I've mentioned to you after practice from time to time, I feel like we made a lot of growth. I feel like our team has grown up a bunch. We've had a longer winter and more strenuous spring, and they really worked hard to keep their concentration and work hard. And thought we wrapped it up with a good, clean game today.
Summer's going to be big. I mean, the season's just now starting. We have a good starting point, but, we got to really have a capacity for boredom this summer, running the same plays over and over until, they're just ingrained in our memory. So it's going to be a big summer for us.
That'll do it for your morning sports. Have a great day.
Now at 8:30 on WKYT this morning, Rupp Arena is beefing up security to help keep event goers safe. We'll take a look at the plans the arena has for its new walk-through metal detectors.
And in Floyd County, a man is in jail this morning after state police say he shot 3 men, killing 2 of them. We'll hear from one man who says he was at the home when shots were fired.
And a Lexington family is one step closer to getting their son the service dog he needs to get around. How you can help this family coming up on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning and happy Sunday. I'm Meredith Jones.
And I'm Sean Moody. It's going to be a happy Sunday and a nice Sunday outside.
Yes, it is. You're going to want to be outside today. Mike Lennon has more on just what you can expect for this Sunday.
Well, Meredith and Sean, things are shaping up to once again just be absolutely gorgeous. The Defender Radar Network not finding any cloud cover. There's no precipitation out there either. Whatever you need to do outside today, today is the day to do it, because if you didn't get the chance to spend some time outside yesterday, today's looking like more of the same, if not a little better. Now, temperatures right now are kind of all over the place, but nonetheless, most are cooler than where we were yesterday. Most spots in the mid to high 40s and lower 50s, which, of course, that just goes to show you with this lack of cloud cover that we're having, the overnight hours, especially early in the morning, can be a little cool. Not necessarily that cold. We're not finding any temperatures in the 30s. But, man, once we get into the afternoon today, again, that lack of cloud cover, the sky is the limit with these temperatures. Once they start warming up, it's only up from there. A string of beautiful days ahead of us here. But there are some bumps in the road ahead. I'll show you what we may see for the work week coming up.
All right, make the most while we can. Thanks, Mike.
True.
Rupp Arena is ramping up security. Lexington Center leaders are rolling out new stand-up metal detectors there at the arena.
That's right. They used them at last night's Outcry concert, and so far, so good. WKYT's Mike Beyer is at the live desk with Rupp's future security plans. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Meredith. Lexington Center officials say they are excited for these new walk-through metal detectors, and they say we should be excited too, because getting into Rupp Arena will be faster than ever. Rupp first used the walk-through metal detectors as part of a trial run during the NCAA women's basketball tournament. Only a few were used then. Last night during the concert Outcry, roughly a dozen were in play. Many concert promoters require the detectors as part of their contracts for bringing musicians to Rupp, and the detectors will be part of the new routine for most events at Rupp moving forward. Now, Lexington Center leaders say getting to our seats will be quicker than ever. They say walking through metal detectors takes about 5 seconds, where being wanted by security can take anywhere from 20 to 30 seconds. Now, the detectors may be faster, but there are some items you'll have to take out every time you walk through one.
Walk-through metal detectors here are not turned up to the same level of intensity that they are, say, at an airport. When you arrive here, biggest thing you got to take out is your keys, or or cell phone, or something that's going to be major metal that way.
Now, about 6,000 people went through those detectors at last night's concert. Those numbers are expected to triple to about 18,000 people when Pearl Jam comes to town next week. Officials tell us they plan on using all 30 metal detectors for that concert. Pearl Jam's concert will be closest to what a UK men's basketball game looks like. Now, officials say the main reason the walk-through metal detectors were installed is to provide a safe environment for all events, because they say there's nothing more important than fan safety. At the live desk, I'm Mike Beyer, WKYT.
All right, thank you, Michael. We're following a story out of eastern Kentucky this morning. In Floyd County, firefighters are trying to figure out what started a fire at an apartment complex. Now, the fire started around 9 last night on Route 777 in Maytown. Crews from Garrett, Martin, and Maytown fire departments were on scene to put out the fire. Firefighters are not sure if anyone has been injured.
Funeral arrangements are now set for a Mercer County High School junior. Investigators found 17-year-old Tristan Cole dead in a field on Wednesday night. They've charged a juvenile with murder and robbery. Tristan's family says visitation for family is tomorrow afternoon from 4 o'clock to 5 at Alexander and Royalty Funeral Home in Harrodsburg. Friends can stop by from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock that night. The funeral is at 1 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. There will be a short visitation before the funeral.
A Clark County man is dead after a head-on crash Friday. The Winchester Sun reports John Johnstone was driving on US 60 when he crossed the center line and hit another car. Johnstone died at the scene. The driver of the other car was taken to the hospital. Deputies do not believe alcohol was involved. Well, in Breathitt County, state police are investigating after a body was found near the Kentucky River. Troopers found the body in the North Fork Kentucky River near downtown Jackson. Investigators do not suspect foul play. Now, they have not said who the person is or how they died.
This morning in Floyd County, a man is in jail after state police say he shot 3 men, killing 2 of them. Late Friday night, troopers say 49-year-old Ronnie Lee Hill shot 3 men at a home in Hueysville. 2 of them died. We do not have their names, but the third, 51-year-old Ricky Goebel, went to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. A man who said he was at the home said all of them started fighting and that he left before the shootings.
I left because I knew something bad was going to happen, and I got up, I walked out that way and sat down and watched. I was all shook up. I think if I wouldn't have got out of there, I probably would have been dead with them.
Hall is charged with 2 counts of murder. State police say they may file charges against the man who survived the shooting.
A Perry County man is in jail this morning after police say he stole a car and thousands of dollars of tools from an auto service shop. 46-year-old Randy Dale Campbell is charged with burglary and theft by unlawful taking. Police say Campbell broke into Master Tech on North Main Street in Hazard Friday morning. Now, they believe he loaded $50,000 worth of tools into a black Audi and drove away.
Well, after the arrest, I was at least able to start calming down enough to think about stuff. Because you're thinking about what you've lost, how you're going to replace it, especially with the economy the way it is today, where it's so tight that you barely can keep surviving anyway.
The owner says police have returned about 1/3 of his stolen tools and are trying to recover the rest. Police also found the stolen car.
This morning, a Lexington family is one step closer to getting their son the service dog he needs to get around. Tara Murillo has been raising money for months to get the dog and to pay for a fenced-in yard. A bullet hit her 10-year-old son Antonio in the head during a drive-by shooting last year. Antonio now suffers from seizures and memory loss. Family and friends spent their Saturday holding a yard and bake sale outside of Al's Auto Repair Shop in Nicholasville.
You find yourself in a lot of sorrow and pain, and you don't see good in the world. And these last few months, that's all we've seen, and it's absolutely an incredible thing.
Antonio will have his 5th brain surgery on Friday. There are still several ways you can help him get that service dog. There's information on our website, WKYT.com, and on our WKYT News app. You can download that for free in the app and Google Play stores.
A Nicholasville rescue group is in need that takes care of horses needs your help. The Kentucky Equine Humane Center held their 3rd annual Stock the Barn fundraiser last night. The center rehabs, retrains, and rehomes horses in need. The executive director says they take in all breeds and caring for those horses isn't cheap.
We do a lot of rehab at the center, so we take in a lot of horses with really severe medical needs that other people may not have the resources to do or don't have the expertise to take care of. So some of our horses are with us for, many, many, many months.
The center takes in and adopts out an average of 6 to 10 horses a month. Now, they tell us it costs about $500 a month to care for just one horse.
People walk or run to raise money all the time, but today in Madison County, people are going to be dancing.
That's right. Madison Central High School is hosting a Zumba-thon today to help support the Daniel Ellis Foundation. Officer Daniel Ellis, who worked for the Richmond Police Department and died last November. Now, all of the money raised at today's Zumba-thon will go directly to that foundation. So if you want to dance, the event starts at 2 o'clock this afternoon in the main building's gym. It's $10 for adults and $5 for students. Not too bad. I'd like to see you get out there and shake it, Sean.
Hey, we'll see about that. I'm not so sure.
All right, well, coming up later today on your official UK station, a blue-white special. We're still pretty excited for football season to start after yesterday's spring game. Hear what the coaches have to say on the upcoming season. That's tonight at 7 on the CW Lexington. All right, it's 8:39 coming up on WKYT this morning.
Might be good dancing weather. That weather was so perfect yesterday. Mike conjured up the pretty much exact same forecast for today. Isn't that right, Mike?
Well, I don't know if I can take credit for the weather, Sean. I'm just the messenger, and I have a pretty good message to send to you, not only today, but for the next few days. But there are some changes coming to the forecast. I'll show you what the work week has in store for you coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Mike Linden.
Once again, it looks like a beautiful day on tap for the bluegrass with sunny skies, dry conditions, and warmer than normal temperatures. It really is the perfect recipe for a great day to spend some time outside. Your live sky camera overlooking downtown Lexington. All is good over Big Blue Nation this morning. 47 degrees, a little cooler than where we were at this time yesterday, but really it's not all that bad. The winds are nice and calm. It's comfortable outside despite those temperatures in the mid-40s right now. We look at the Defender radar network, and we're just not seeing any cloud cover anywhere, whether it be cloud cover, precipitation, what have you. Skies are pretty clear this morning. There is that stationary front that still lies off to our west, keeping all of the cloud cover and active weather at bay. And we have high pressure built up over the eastern seaboard that's keeping us nice and dry. So both the high pressure and this front off to our west working together as a team to keep the beautiful weather right here in the Midwest. Now that front off to our west is slowly creeping eastward, and it will bring us some active weather later in the week. But right now you can really see on the wind map here and the temperature layer, you can also really see how the warm air is on one side of that front and the cool air on the western side of that front. And that is pretty much splitting the United States in two. We just happen to be on the good side of things with that warm, sunny weather. And there really won't be much change to our pattern, nor today, nor tomorrow. Not even really Tuesday either, as the warm air continues to stay right here over the bluegrass, keeping temperatures well above normal and keeping those conditions nice and sunny for us. Now, moving forward into our afternoon today, if you have anything you need to get done outside, it looks like a great day to do so. Now, that pollen is going to be rather high today and for the next few days, but temperatures today potentially even reaching the lower 80s. How about that? Into the evening hours, 71 degrees for 8 o'clock this evening. Will pretty much be great all day today. Those temperatures getting really close to the lower 80s out there this afternoon. And that's not just Lexington. That's pretty much all of the bluegrass, getting back to the upper 70s and lower 80s. Tomorrow, more of the same as well, if not a little bit warmer. That pattern not showing signs of breaking here in the next few days. Tuesday, even on Tuesday, things really not breaking all that much, although the cloud cover does begin to come back a little bit. Some thin clouds for you there on Tuesday. It isn't until Wednesday that the leading edge of that front finally gets here. And with that point, we might even see some showers a little bit later in the day. And then on Thursday, Friday, potentially even some thunderstorms as well. Of course, with temperatures as warm as they have been, you introduce some cold air, and that's where you get some instability. So it's the spring. Thunderstorms certainly to be expected. And it looks like we could run at least 2 days of those chances. But by next weekend, it's back to normal. The low 70s, mostly sunny. That's where we pretty much should be this time of year. If not, that is a little above normal for this time of year. So 79 today, gotta definitely take that when you get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, well, it's 8:46. We'll have more news when we come right back.
This Sunday morning, pay a visit to the Forbidden Kingdom, Bhutan, and actress Kathy Bates talks about body and soul. Listen for the trumpet.
Kentucky mornings start here. You're watching WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Certainly hope you're enjoying this beautiful spring weekend. What a year in politics in America and here in Kentucky. UK's Martin School brought in some national pollsters to talk about the trends, and one had a little time to stop by our studio and talk with me for Kentucky Newsmakers. Robert Blizzard does polling for candidates, and he's watching it all very closely. He says that national scene could eclipse some of the issues in Kentucky.
The challenge is when you get into a major presidential election year like this, you also have a U.S. Senate race here in Kentucky. Usually the national issue agenda starts to work its way even into local state legislative races like you'll see now.
You've been at this a few years. Have you seen a presidential election or historically studied one that is quite like this?
No. I mean, I don't think that there's, I think this is just, this year is chaotic. It's unpredictable. It's a roller coaster. Anybody who comes and tells you that they know what's going to happen is completely lying to you, because there is absolutely no precedent for what's happening. You've got a crazy situation on the Republican side where you're most likely going to a contested convention, which we haven't seen in a generation. And on the Democratic side, the coronation of Hillary Clinton certainly isn't going as planned, and you have Bernie Sanders now running up victory after victory after victory. That's definitely putting a dent into her electability argument down the road.
Many established Republicans seem to be extremely concerned that a Trump nomination might cause them to lose the White House, and that there might be coattail effects that would cause them to lose in Congress as well. Do you detect early numbers that indicate that?
Yeah. I think that Donald Trump is definitely he's doing the things that he's doing right. He has become the messenger of an angry populist fraction of the Republican Party that really hasn't had a voice, to lead them in recent years. So he's doing that. He is definitely hitting on some key issues that are very important to a lot of voters in the Republican Party. The problem is, however, he will begin this campaign, and he already has now, with the most negative image of any potential or past or probably future Republican or Democratic nominee for president if he is the chosen nominee. His negative numbers are in the 60s. There hasn't been a general election campaign run yet. His numbers are atrocious with Hispanics. They are going down and worse every day with white women, which is a key target audience in the national campaign in a lot of swing states. He is definitely someone who's going to put a lot of Republican territory at risk this November up and down the ticket.
And you see that in your polling. You can see that it would affect Senate and congressional candidates.
Yeah, because
are you telling your candidates that?
Well, yeah. I mean, as you start to do more polls for certain candidates, and depending on the race, and depending on the state, and depending on the district, you got to see, because it's a district by district case. But the challenge is that gravity applies in politics, and depending on where Donald Trump, if he is the nominee, depending on where he is at the top of the ticket, there is only so much of a delta between where he's going to be and where those next down ticket Republicans are going to be.
Now you can see the full interview with pollster Blizzard and see how the state budget deal was announced in the middle of the night this week after lawmakers had hashed it out for days. Kentucky newsmakers will repeat this morning at 10 on the CW Lexington. Set your DVR or catch it then. And we'll have the latest for you bright and early this week on WKYT This Morning. I'm Bill Bryant, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back. It's 8:55 on your Sunday morning. Technology is always advancing. A lot of times it helps change people's lives for the better.
That's right. It can also change the life of a duck. Take a look at Philip, the duck. He's from Wisconsin. He was given a new chance to waddle again after losing both of his feet to frostbite. But thanks to middle school teacher and a 3D printer, Philip, you can see there, has 2 new feet. I mean, maybe 2 left feet. He's a little clumsy, but you know what? He's going to get it down before no time.
Yeah, give him a few days in that. I'm curious to see how he does, like in the water, if he can paddle all right with them. 3D printers, I mean, there's so many different applications. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Coming up on CBS Sunday Morning, you will visit the mysterious kingdom of Bhutan. Then you will go on the record with blues legend Bonnie Raitt, and you'll hear a tale or two from Kathy Bates.
That's all coming up on Sunday Morning right here on WKYT from 9 to 10:30.
And we really are looking at a beautiful day of weather ahead of us today. Yesterday was great. Today, more of the same. Monday and Tuesday, more of the same, as well as temperatures sit right above normal in the upper 70s and even lower 80s. Normal for this time of year, right around 70 or so degrees. So we are well ahead of that here the next several days. The next bump, though, in the forecast looks like Wednesday evening, a chance for some showers, then leading into a chance for some thunderstorms Thursday and Friday. But by next weekend, we're right back to where we should be normally, with partly cloudy skies and temperatures in the lower 70s. So you've really got to get out there and enjoy the upper 70s and low 80s while you can. Feeling like a late spring day today, more so than right where we are here, like in the middle-ish of spring.
Sounds good. We will take it. Thanks,
I like it.
Thank you so much for joining us. Nobody is more up to date than you to start your day.
Enjoy your Sunday.